Oh, well. Ladies, gentlemen, and people of all ages, we are live. You're live with the Dude Brothers. Now, I'm Colonel ChuBs, and I'm just here to welcome everybody. Whether you're going to be with us live or you're going to come in later, we're here because we want to say thanks to some people. But I'm going to wait because my co-host, co-heterosexual life partner, and the other half of the Dude Brothers is coming. You know him as Max because he is Max. And we bring entertainment throughout space and time because people need to know. People need to know how awesome trailers for movies, comic books, skateboarding, music, you name it. How cool it would be. Some is old, some is... And, oh, look at that. Oh, I hear something.
Oh, yeah.
Look at this. It is. Everybody, it's Max.
Yeah, bit of a delay.
Monitor, but no, we can see, you can hear, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whoa. Now, we're going to clink. This is to everybody because we haven't been in the same room for a while. You know, there's pandemics, surgeries, you name it. But the last time we were in the same room, believe it or not, we weren't close to 100 subs. As of today, we're 128.
Ooh.
That is awesome. All you people are awesome because we do it for y'all. We make these jokes whether people are around us or not.
Yeah, and I mean we get some pretty cool comments and suggestions.
Oh my god. We did our most popular was the Exorcist trailer.
Yeah.
We still get those, and we did that, a year and plus ago.
Yeah.
But that's why we do this, to bring that to the masses. And also because I guess us making each other laugh is one thing, but we need to share it with the world. So now this is the end of February, and we had our week of winter down here in the Big Easy. Oh my gosh, I hate it. I hope everybody who does live where it's getting snowed in, stay safe. Prayers and thoughts, good vibes to Texas, who had...
Yeah, I was going to say, I think it snowed everywhere but here.
We had one day where it was like 20 degrees.
I got a little flutter of snow, so a little bit. I mean, you had to look for it. You know?
I saw at the bottom of a gutter, a weather vane, it was coming out just frozen solid. And I'm like,
nice.
But the creeks in our apartment complex run, so they didn't do it. I was worried about you, but there's no water in that ditch, so there's really nothing to worry about. Let me ask you, since it's been a while, what's the last movie you've watched on anything? By the way, for us, we watched Wonder Woman 84.
Yeah, well, I haven't put anything in to watch. I mean, I've caught stuff on TV.
Well, this was on HBO Max. I'm just saying. Even if YouTube you saw, have you ever?
Well, actually, we talked about it earlier, but they had for whatever, maybe it was 30, 40 year anniversary or something, but they had a Smokey and the Band that, Marathon. Yeah, and they played them all, it's kind of funny.
There's 3, right?
Yeah.
And the third one, it's not even him, it's Jerry Lewis, or whatever his name is, the truck driver.
Oh, Tom DeLuise?
No, in Smokey and the Band, the guy who drives the rig.
Oh, right,
Jerry
right.
Reed, right? Mm-hmm. It's just him, and there's a scene where the sheriff hallucinates the bandit. And he's not even in a T-Bird like the first 2.
Yeah, I guess they couldn't get Burt Reynolds or something.
But it's
funny because Burt Reynolds is in the credits because I kept waiting for him to come in. I'm like, maybe
just because of that one image of him. But and the second one has an elephant.
Yeah. Well, the first one, it was smuggling beer. Second one, they were smuggling an elephant. The third one was that shark.
Oh yeah, literally they jumped the shark.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, good point there. Yeah,
they said, you know what, let's go ahead and jump
just
in.
literally jump the shark.
But
get rid of it.
You know, technically we were alive when the first movie came out, but
was it 76?
8.
78?
I think it was 8, 7 or 8. But so technically we were alive, but that movie was one like me and my dad would watch, and we loved the car, the jokes,
right?
And I'm gonna just say it, Gleason, they portrayed him as a racist.
Oh yeah,
because when the one of the sheriffs goes down and it's the black guy and his partner, and he goes, "I thought you'd be tall."
Yeah.
And that's risque even now, but back then, good lord.
Yeah.
And the second one is when there's 3 of him, and he's a Canadian.
Oh, jeez.
And they like really push it, and it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah. There was one, it was Canadian. Another one was French or something.
One, I think, yeah, maybe, or very southern, like
right,
something like that.
Yeah.
Like he owned a plantation almost. It's really odd. But
yeah, they were, the first one was the best one. I mean, you could probably do without
him and his son.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go home and punch your mother.
His son was a football player.
Really?
Yeah, he played with actually he played with the Pittsburgh Steelers, and because they have a scene where they go into a football stadium. Terry Bradshaw's there, and other Steelers, and the band that asked Terry Bradshaw, he's like, "Oh, you still have your farm in Shreveport?" And and so Terry Bradshaw's like, "Yeah," and he's like, "Can you do me a favor and stop the sheriff? Stop, Jackie Gleason's character." So he's like, "Yeah," and he's like, "Hey Joe, stop that police car," and it was Mean Joe Green. So Mean Joe Green gets in front of the sheriff's cop car, and Jackie Gleason's character, he acts. He's like, "Boy, if you don't get from in front of that police car, I'm going to shove a penalty flag right up your ass." So, and then Mean Joe Green flips the car over. It's like almost something out of Police Academy or something. But you got to take those movies with a grain of salt.
By the way, that's a good one. You reminded me, we haven't done a Police Academy trailer.
Yeah.
The first one's, by the way, classic beyond belief.
It's a shame how most movies, the first one's great, so they're like, "Oh, we got to make a second one." Second one, third, and then they just get worse.
When they stop really paying attention, and what's sad is now they're remaking them.
Now I know, the Terminator movies, a lot of people like the second Terminator better than the first. I rather the first one. I mean,
yeah, the way they always said it, it's like the first one's almost a horror movie.
Yeah,
there's a bad thing chasing and murdering everything in its path.
Yeah,
just like
and
Aliens
they
franchise.
slowly turn.
It doesn't matter what's coming at you.
Yeah, it's like the first Terminator movie, like you said, it could just straight up be horror, but then they progressively get more sci-fi, and then it's just science fiction at the end.
And look, we were there in the prime for the '92 sequel because we were literally in high school, and those effects weren't that great. They really stepped it up, to use the metal Terminator. But
yeah, like I said, a lot of people I rather the first one.
My problem was too jokey. Hasta la vista, baby. Fine. John teaching him to give a high five, and it's like.
Of course, they had a great soundtrack for the second one. Guns N' Roses.
Man, I was in a band. We played "You Could Be Mine" a bunch of times, but
just the reason I brought that up is sequels tend to just go downhill. Could you think of any other movie where the sequels either got better or they had a better sequel?
Aliens.
Yeah.
But again, they're different. The first one alien, and they call it a haunted house type because they're trapped in the spaceship.
Yeah, that's a good point.
2, it's an action where I always look at it where in the first one, people like us would say, "Well, what if everybody had guns and knew what they were doing?" They go, "Aha." And they show that. But they're not on the same level. Terminator is the same principle.
Yeah.
Terminator's coming back in time. Alien and Aliens, same franchise thing.
Yeah, that's a good question to anybody out there. If you can think of sequels that got better. Because I want to say like 90%, 99% of sequels tend to get worse as they go on.
Some are okay. Like they don't bad or good anything with them. But people don't know when to stop. Like Police Academy has like 5 or 6.
Yeah.
4 through 6, you're like, okay, stupid, simple jokes. You're not advancing anything else.
I saw something like Police Academy. I don't know which one it was, but the one with the skaters, and he had like Tony Hawk doubling.
It's the second one.
Yeah, well, in
Brigade.
In the group of skaters, yeah, like some of the skaters we grew up with, Tony Hawk and stuff, did the stunts for that movie. But the actors that were playing the young skater kids, David Spade. Yeah, that's what I was bringing up. Yeah, I thought that was hilarious.
And for us, we were like, skating, look. Because, look,
what are we doing real tricks?
Skating's popular today. There was that lull because you had, like, the Dogtown guys who took surfing to skating. And the Bones Brigade, Tony Hawk, Lance Mountain, Christian, all of them. After that, they'll tell you there was a lull in skating.
Oh, yeah.
When we started skating, we saw maybe one other person in a decade in our neighborhood. Now we see them everywhere, and it's like, where was this? Especially female skaters.
You know, it's funny. In The Simpsons, you know, Bart skates. Well, if you watch like some of the early skating Bart did in the early seasons, it's like, you know, the people that drew it, the people that wrote it knew nothing about skating, so he would just do like what a non-skater would think a trick would be. Like he would just spin, or he would do a flip. But in later episodes, like Bart will actually go up, kickflip a handrail, and do real tricks. Like, you know, so that's. And
he always had a blank board, and like it was just one color. But hey,
green with the red stripe, I think.
Anybody, and we haven't got to this yet, but Gleaming the Cube, one of the greatest skating movies, because the actual Bones Brigade, as themselves, Tony Hawk's a pizza delivery driver for Pizza Hut, and they show up to help, and then it goes a little, because it's actually called One Brother's Justice is another name for the movie, because the movie's technically about Christian Slater's character's brother's killed, and he's trying to find out. He happens to skate, and somebody lives in a bomb shelter. With Yahoo, and they skate. They skate in the edge of it.
That guy, he's in a lot of stuff. I saw him in a movie the other day. I was like,
we're not great with names.
No, I can't remember his name, but you know.
And thank goodness for the Bones Brigade. But
Rodney Mullen was in it. You know, with Bones Brigade. You know,
what was?
Well, he was a stunt double. Because
what was the movie where like? No, it was Gleaming the Cube. When they show him doing just the ground stuff, it's Mullen. The half pipe,
Mike McGill, and Tony Hawk.
We have a couple McGill boards. I had the fish one, but thank goodness for them, because it kept it alive. And a special thanks right now to Garden of Fear. If you ever watch our videos, Garden of Fear presents. Garden of Fear is a group of like-minded individuals who help out people, skaters, surfers, musicians, and ask for nothing. We do it with the presents to be nice because they're nice to us. And to help, as in they say, pay it forward. If you watch us and you skate or play music or you draw, any talent, let us know, send us stuff, and we'll spotlight you, because that's what it's about. Spotlighting.
Because that's something we kind of touched on today. We were talking earlier, like, you know, we review movie trailers and stuff, but I thought it'd be really cool to review regular people's stuff. Like if you're an artist, we'd love to review, you know, pictures or, you know, fan movies.
A long time ago, somebody sent us a fan-made trailer. You can go look in our videos. It's My Little Pony, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and I think like G.I. Joe. But they did a really good job, and out the blue, there was nothing wrong with it, and we liked it. So we're here for you.
Because I remember when I first heard, like, I was like, wait a minute, this is crazy.
We thought it wasn't real, but
you watched it, it was neat. So we love seeing stuff like that, you know.
Also, we did a trailer review for, it was called Camp Colebrook, and me and Mrs. M did the review of the movie. When we did the trailer, the director left a comment thanking us. It happened on another video. I'm sorry I'm drawing a blank on it right now, but that goes to show you, it doesn't matter how big or small you are, people are watching. And that's why we pick odd stuff. Like, yeah, the classics. We were talking the other day. Hamburger the movie. You'll see it. Go watch the video. It's an old, weird comedy with Dick Buckus, of all people, about the actual Hamburger Universities where they send, like, McDonald's managers to learn. This was a play on that, but it was hilarious. But it kind of got swept in all the comedies that came out in the 80s.
In that movie, just a little side guest appearance. You know how they always show those really, really big guys on those little motorbikes.
They had the fat ones.
Yeah, and I was really curious because I remember seeing them in a bunch of movies.
Midnight Man.
They referenced it they're in The Simpsons. Like, I don't know if they played a character, but they showed the two big guys with cowboy hats,
by the way,
on the motorbikes. Well,
I thought you meant the girls.
No.
With the glasses. The twin girls that are always in the fat club dancing.
Yeah, but
But I know who you're talking about.
Right. Well, the ones I'm talking about, like, it's like two cowboy guys, real huge, and they were always on little motorbikes to make them even look bigger. So I was really curious. I was like, these guys are always referenced. They were referenced to The Simpsons. Always see them in, like, 80s movies and stuff. Well, I was like, what the hell? So I looked them up, and come to find out, like, I think kind of why they got famous or whatever, because they were in the Guinness Book of World Record as largest twins.
Really?
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know if this,
no, that's cool.
Apparently it was a record, but no, I mean, they made the best of it. They, like, go to, like, grocery store openings and stuff, and there were a bunch of movies. I mean, they were on The Simpsons, for God's sake. So.
Do you remember the Barbarian Brothers? First seen in DC Cab. They wore overalls. They were bodybuilders with long black hair. One of them passed away last year. Somebody was they had an actual movie where they were it was a Conan ripoff but comedy with them. And they were in, like I said, DC Cab, which we're gonna get to that. Me and my dad love that movie. But one of them passed away and they kept working out and they're in their 60s.
Cab.
Mr. T, and they were cab drivers. Gary Busey.
The Henry Winkler wasn't in it.
I don't know offhand.
Yeah.
You might be thinking of Night Shift, too.
That's what I'm thinking of. Where he's like a pimp.
I think he started as like a mortuary worker, and then to get money.
He becomes a pimp.
Yeah. Look,
it's a comedy.
Do you remember Odd Jobs with Paul Reiser?
Odd Jobs.
If you saw it, you would.
Yeah, I mean, I know Paul Reiser real good.
We're going to get to that. And again, go to any of our videos and leave a comment of anything you want us to look at. Be it, now, music is the hardest, so don't pick a music video. But if there's a band, try that, because we could do it without the actual video, the lyrics. Movie trailers, even a book. But I've only read a pamphlet once, and Salem's Lot. That's the only one. I did not, look, I did read, but anything.
I was talking to a friend about Salem's Lot, the movie, because it was too, at the time. I mean, I went back and watched it. Now it's not kind of, but I remember as a kid, the one scene, well, two scenes that scared me. One where, like, the kid was looking out the window at his friend that was outside the window and came in. That was terrified the hell out of me. And, well, it's funny about that. Okay, so there was that scene. Then there was a scene where the grave digger's, like, burying, I guess, the kid or whatever. And then, like, he jumps in. And
he thought he was alive still. Or he wanted to see if he was a vampire. Like that's how he gets bit. But
those two scenes, it's funny because that's an old movie. So
79.
I remember those two scenes, but I didn't know what movies they were to. I didn't know they were in the same movie. But I was talking to Steve, and we were talking, and come to, he reminded me, he's like, no, that's the same movie, And I was like, oh man, that's right. And I went back and watched them. I mean, it's not as scary as I remember.
There was a TV movie remake with Rob Lowe of Salem's Lot, I think in the late 90s.
Yeah, it does sound familiar.
Right when they were doing all that with like the Shining TV movie from the guy with Wings, from Wings. But the reason that movie is important, because one of our favorite vampire movies is Fright Night, because they take place in a town or a suburban area where anybody who doesn't grow up in a city high rise or something, if you live in a house, you don't know who's next to you. There could be anybody. And they did a good job. Now, have you seen the remake of Fright Night?
Um,
With Yenton Yelshin, whatever his name is.
I might have.
Colin Farrell was Jerry. Well, they did it pretty close, pretty accurate to the same thing. But that was the point. Like even Lost Boys, where it's like they're in this city, could happen.
What was the they came out with like a new creep show?
There's a TV series on Shudder.
Right. And the very first
I haven't seen
episode
it yet.
was with that woman from Swamp Thing that we just talked about.
Adrienne Barbeau?
Yes. She's in it, I think. You know.
I haven't checked it out yet. It's on my list. I have Shudder. It's
Well,
on
they
my
had,
thing.
you know, like they have little short things. And one of them, I think, is called The Head. And it's about a dollhouse. I'm not going to spoil it because it's real new. But, you know, like a little kid has a dollhouse and creepy things happen. And I enjoyed it. I thought it was really good. That was the only one I saw. You know, I got
Hey, if you want us to review Creep Show, we'll give a little summary of every episode. You let us know.
Yeah. Yeah, we definitely know.
Because we love the old movies.
Yeah.
Because they're literally comic books brought to life.
Yeah.
And they take it like those, like the things behind people, just one color, or you know, it cuts from panel to panel. Now some of my favorites. One, the tar monster in the water.
Yeah.
And two, where they're stuck on the pier
Was
in
that
the
the
middle.
one with the crate?
Yeah. No, the first one has the crate. The first one has the wooden Indian that comes to life.
Right.
Stephen King and the meteor.
Right.
The crate, I think, is the last one.
And she was.
Oh no, the first one is where the dad goes, "Where's my cake?" and kills all the people in the house. So that's that one. The second one has Leslie Nielsen's with Ted Danson. Maybe the crate's in a. You know what? We've seen it so many times. It's weird.
Well, because I get like those confused because there was like a couple of them, like Tales from the Crypt, and like there was
Tales
a couple
from the
of
Dark
them.
Side.
Yeah, with little short shit. But the crate, that woman was in that.
Adrienne Barbeau was the wife he tries to kill.
And I don't know why I can't remember her name. But.
Yeah, so I like I said, the show's on my list from Shudder. We're gonna probably review it anyway and check it out. But yeah, we did Creep Show 2's trailer or 1, and we had a special guest. Go check it out on our list. We'll do the other one. We're just like, you know, just starting. We did Friday the 13th. I don't even think we did one of the Nightmare on Elm Street yet, because we're jumping around. Like we have Oh God, You Devil as one of ours, because we love that movie. You know, so we got to go through it, and we're happy to do it for everybody because that's what it's about. And we've got a couple suggestions, and we got a list. And like we said, we haven't been in the same room in a while, thanks to one, the pandemic. It's hard. Two, one of us had medical things going on, but we're getting back into the swing of things. Like I have kids, one of them's in school, that everything's getting in the way, but we're here for you people, and we love the audience. This was a big thank you, because now that we're in the same room and we went over 100 subs, we remember I came over here and said, Max, we're at 40 subs, and we were so excited. Like, I can't believe 40 people are watching us, even if one person.
Well, I was gonna say, if one person said, "What do y'all think of Jaws?" I'd be happy to sit there and talk about Jaws. So I mean,
right?
You know, the numbers don't matter, but it's neat just because the more people, the more ideas throw at you. You know, somebody might say something you never thought of. You know, so that's cool.
There's a lot of love coming from the horror community out there.
Yeah.
Which, let me tell you,
that seems to be the most popular one.
I have a foot in the Bigfoot community because I'm happen to be a guest host on a show called the Squatchable Podcast. And we love the outdoors, so it kind of fits. You wouldn't believe the infighting in that community. I have a little finger in the atheist religious community. They're cutthroat. Horror, which is literally about movies about people killing other things and such. Nice. Barely any slack. Like the comments, I got one today and yesterday on our Exorcist trailer, and great. Some people film me one time. I think it was Halloween 4 or something like that. I said the wrong year when we were talking about it. Just and a guy nicely put in the comments. By the way, it was 79.
Well, you know what's funny? It's like
love it.
If you talk, if you talk about religion, you have a much better chance of getting people angry and cursing you out than if you talk about a movie where a guy with a ski mask cut people in half. They'll be the nicest people talking about that, but then you talk about religion and people will be mad and cursing and everything else. So that's kind of funny.
That's why on our channel there are videos of, like, say, me doing something in the atheist community. That's just me. Doesn't reflect Max, Mrs. M, Big D, or anybody else you see. That's just me. Okay? Then we haven't talked about music that much because those get flagged, but we talk about comics. We love comics.
Yeah.
Now, other than ordering comics, most of the stores are just getting back to open. Big D actually went to BSI in the last couple of months, but they're only so big. You can't get that many people in there. So, but
comic books still took kind of a hit, I think.
If anybody out there, tell us your favorite character, and we probably have a comic about that person somewhere.
If anybody's watched our videos in the past, you can see how many comics we have and go through.
Our show's called From the Long Box, and we've shown his Punisher collectibles and my Iron Man collectibles, and I covered like Supergirl Rebirth #1 just because me and Mrs. M like Supergirl, and
well, I mean, you figure at my age, I've probably been collecting comics.
We were 8 or 9 riding our bikes.
That's what I'm saying. So we're talking about
35 plus years.
Yeah, pushing 40 years of collecting comics. I mean, you tend to learn a few things.
Unfortunately, I've lost so many because I've moved so many times.
Yeah.
But he's been very good about it, and I'm now starting to get back. I like the omnibus where you get, instead of issues 1 through 12, you get all of them in one.
Oh yeah.
So helpful because even if you're not collecting, I like to hold it and read it. There are digital ways, but you don't get to keep it. People who love comics will tell you, even the smell or the look of the old paper.
And well, I mean, and now it's nice online because obviously you can't buy every book out there, and there's stuff like something like I don't collect, like okay, I don't collect Wonder Woman, but if she has a really, really interesting storyline I would never know about, but so many people review comics. If something's cool going on, you might hear a really cool story from somebody just reviewing it. You don't have to go buy, because I mean, you can't read everything that comes out. I mean, there's so many books.
Do you remember when you tried to see where the Punisher was going, and he went from like a Spider-Man book to a Moon Knight book, and you're like, "There's no way in Green Earth I'm gonna get through this."
Right. Yeah.
But that's how it goes. And like with me, Iron Man, you know how many books he's in?
Oh yeah.
And when I was a kid, he was like a D-list person. He wasn't trash, but he wasn't popular. Civil War was the book that made him like people. And the movies just
top guy, right?
And thank you MCU for making Iron Man. Of course, he's dead now, but that's okay. We have War Machine. I love him, and even Rescue, which is Pepper Potts in the suit, and War Machine, and Punisher. Well, I guess he took the suit. Or he gave, maybe, I don't know.
He gave it to him.
But he put the skull and that.
Well, the Punisher, because I mean, the Punisher recently put on a War Machine suit, became War Machine. He was Ghost Rider for a while.
Cosmic Ghost Rider.
That
was awesome. And he took the baby Thanos.
Yeah.
Put him on the front of the bike.
Like, that story, like, if you just get a little 2-minute version of it from somebody, you're going to think that's crazy. There's no way that can be good. But when you get into it, I mean, it turns out to be awesome.
Simply because, not to spoil it, we might do it from the long box on that one, but because the Punisher's good at killing, that he does it. Now, I want to bring up one that is from, I think, 2015, but Original Sin. Doctor Strange and the Punisher go into a different dimension, and that's when he goes, okay, these creatures and demons, whatever, they're being shot with these precision, and the Punisher goes, only 10 people, and I'm one of them, could make this shot.
Yeah.
But that was a one of those things. One, how would you know if you're not reading that he's in there?
Mhm.
And what a good use of him.
Yep.
Like,
well, I mean, because he was a detective for a little bit,
Yeah.
so use it as detective skills, I guess.
because like in Civil War, he shows up. Remember with Spider-Man's like broken, beat up body, and they won't let him join because they're like, "You're just a murderer," you know.
Yeah.
So that was cool. And the show, we watched the trailer for Marvel's Netflix version. They did a good job with Shane from The Walking Dead, John Bernthal.
Yeah.
But they did a good job of like, what would happen if he was in the real world? Now, although debatable, fight us, come at us if you want. Punisher probably has a healing factor of some kind.
Yeah.
He's been shot 1,000,000 times and cut and punched and blown up and
Yeah, I mean, if you go back and read his comics, I mean, he's been shot thousands.
the
of
Thomas
times.
Jane movie, The Russian, beats him half to death.
That was
Great scene.
Great. Yeah.
They messed up the origin, but the rest of the movie was cool.
Mhm.
Dirty Laundry, the short film.
Yeah.
Everybody loves that because that's a good. He doesn't want to get involved, but gotta do it.
Yeah.
Now I'm hoping now that Disney owns the Fox rights to like the X-Men, Gambit gets another shot in the movie world, which I think he had 8 minutes of screen time.
I know he was supposed to get his own movie and stuff. And
at one of the Comic-Cons, Channing Tatum got up on stage, had the Gambit shirt, took a picture with the MCU people. But then they went in limbo with who owned this, and then Disney didn't have it. And now who knows? Like Disney owns the 20th Century Fox, which is Alien and Predator. So you're like, wait, is Disney going to put out? Because they announced the new Blade movie is going to be PG-13.
Oh man, obviously, maybe they could make a comic and they wouldn't make a movie. But think about how cool it would be if they made a movie or a comic, whatever. Like that Predator movie where they take the humans and put on a game reserve.
Predators, yeah.
I saw it again. You showed it to me originally. I liked it, and then it was on TV the other night, and I watched it again. And the reason they picked those humans because they were the best fighters. So if they went to a planet or a universe where X-Men existed or Gambit existed or Spider-Man existed, wouldn't they take those guys to be on the hunting reserve? And how cool would that be? You would have like Marvel characters fighting.
Like they wouldn't like make it so like obviously don't take people who shoot lasers out their eyes. That's too easy.
No.
And like the Punisher would be perfect. Gambit would be perfect because they can't fly and lift up buildings. Like they wouldn't fight Superman. That's pointless. But Batman or Robin, like, which they have, by the way.
The Predator's from a different planet, and Superman gets his powers from our.
If they took him, he'd be a normal guy,
or he might even be stronger. You don't know what their son would do. We know what our son does. So
they do say in Predators, they go, well, the son hasn't moved since we've been here, so he get charged up.
So would that be cool if Superman was like had his powers, but he wasn't like so powerful. Like maybe he could still fly. Maybe he was still strong.
Or he goes back to jumping in a single bound.
Right. Like his original. Because
pre-crisis.
Yeah, they show like over the year, maybe because the longer he's on Earth, the stronger he gets, but they show like in the original comic, like Superman Action Comic #1 or whatever, where he's lifting a car up. And that's about it. But then towards the end, he's lifting up buildings.
Well,
and
actually, they started to now, like the New 52 time, and they put a little bit of lid. But I remember somebody pointing out that he built a chain to move a sun back in the day. Like when he went like around Crisis and all that, it's like he got ridiculous. Because even the cartoon version, some he can breathe in space, some he needs a suit. Yeah. Sometimes he can breathe underwater, sometimes he can't.
Right.
But you're like, okay, but no. And I will say, I've seen people review Superman and Batman different on their own and together fight predators and aliens. But even Green Lantern, Mogo the planet, that's a Green Lantern in the Green Lantern story. Yeah. They put the xenomorphs in one story on there because there's no life. There's planets maybe. But they never address it again. So it'd be funny if one day they go and they're like, what is that? But no, like because also the heroes don't want to kill. You know, they're like, these are living things. They don't know they're not evil.
Right.
Xenomorphs just do.
Yeah.
But they also come to blows with Terminators.
Yeah.
In the comics. But one of them's Superman, and he just crushes them. But he runs into Sarah and John.
Really?
And he's like, oh, no, these things don't exist in my future. And it's cool. Right. But, yeah, you need to, again, size them up. Like, I'd love to see Gambit and the Punisher take on a Predator or a Terminator.
Not to get too far for comics, but have you seen the preview for King Kong Godzilla?
Yeah.
I'm sure you have, yeah.
Me and my boys love it. But my theory, I'm going to call it now in case it happens, they're obviously not going to kill each other. I think they're going to team up. And I've heard reports, there's rumors that Mechagodzilla, and I think in King of the Monsters, I haven't seen that one yet, the one right before this one, Rodan, the one Rodan and Mothra and all are in, that Rodan's still alive and Mothra had babies. So, because, yeah, you want to see, just like any comic, right? At first, the good guys will fight each other because they don't know each other. Then they team up. I think that's what's going to happen.
Like Superman, Batman.
But in these movies, every city gets trampled on, you know, or half destroyed. But I guess,
I mean, you know,
even the
monsters look good.
Oh yeah,
you know, because you know, anytime you have a Godzilla movie, I mean, King Kong is just a big gorilla, so you know, okay. But like, you know, sometimes different interpretations of Godzilla, sometimes they don't make him look.
Oh, I've seen some wonderful people break down in their YouTube videos the evolution of like Godzilla through just by who owned it and wrote the movies. You know, the worst probably is the one America made in '95 or whatever it was, '99 with Matthew Broderick. Like it looked like a lizard.
Right. They made him too realistic. Like, I mean, you know, you don't want it fake looking.
They would. What if an iguana was big?
Right.
And you're like, that's not the point.
You know, you want to see.
He's almost a dinosaur.
Yeah, and he's more.
Oh, King Ghidorah was in the one before this one,
and he was more. You know, like in the originals, you know, he's standing more upright. He's human-like. You know, I mean, he's walking on two legs, kind of thing.
He dances.
Yeah.
You know, and I know that's different, but when he has his son, he'll like hit him on the head. Like they show he has real emotions.
Because the original, you know,
sometimes he's just mindless.
Godzilla versus King Kong. I can't stand the way King Kong looked in that one.
Is that when he rolls over and hits his head?
Yeah, that mask. Yeah, the face.
Oh, well, this looks good. Like we're gonna get a good shot.
Yeah,
and Kong like sign languages to a little girl, so like a real gorilla, and it's like okay, okay,
run.
Yeah. It's not a King Kong movie, but it's called Ape, and it shoots the bird at people. I'm sure you've seen the clip.
Man, it does sound familiar.
It's just APE, I think it stands for something. But yeah, he just shoots the bird. But yeah, sometimes.
Well, you know, I always joke. I mean, you know, everybody always says like monkeys throw feces, which they do in a while. Yeah. You imagine King Kong?
Oh no. No.
He'd go like 100 miles and knock over a building.
It's funny looking. Y'all can't see it, but Rampage. That's based off of them two, right?
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know where the wolf comes from.
Yeah, I think he's just supposed to be a werewolf because it's humans turning into monsters. So he said, "Let's just have a wolf." Yeah.
I'm just grabbing something so you take my.
Yeah, because in Rampage, I know the lizard is called Lizzie because it's a girl.
I thought it was Izzy.
You're right, either one, but I don't think it says it on there. But like, what is the monkey and wolf called?
I'll tell you what,
the wolf might be Wolfie or something like that. It might say it on there. We're looking at, in case you're wondering, it's an arcade one-up cabinet. It's got Rampage, Gauntlet, and Joust.
No names.
And Defender.
Yeah, I've seen Izzy or Lizzie.
Right.
And I haven't seen the movie with The Rock based off of it either.
I've seen some clips. I mean,
I think we saw the trailer.
It looks okay, but it don't look, and like the lizard, I guess they didn't want to get in trouble by Godzilla's people, but the giant lizard is like an alligator for some reason.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't get that, but but like I said, maybe they were afraid that they would get in trouble with the Godzilla people. But
which is funny because you know so many people have done.
I mean, have you seen any previews for movies? I mean, that's the only one I can think of right off the bat that I want to see. Like I can't now. You know, we're old fashioned, but it's like every time I'll see, be like, oh, that looks like a good movie, and it's like only on Netflix, only on Hulu,
Yeah,
only on whatever, and I'm like,
which is cool because you can't go to the theater for everything.
that's what
right
it is.
now.
But I was like,
But there's too many like just.
yeah, or Disney Plus, or you know, I was like, that's kind of aggravating.
I don't know if you saw that recently. They did another The Stand from Stephen King, but it was on like Apple TV or Paramount TV, and you're like, oh, what am I supposed to do? I saw clips of it. Looks good, but it's the same story. There's too many zombie movies. We're old school zombie fans.
Yeah.
And there's such an influx because everybody can do it, and it's a kind of an easy thing to do. The Walking Dead is still out. The show's still going.
I think it's about to start up again or something.
Yeah, I think it's called like Overworld or like.
Well, now they got The Walking Dead.
Fear.
Fear of The Walking Dead. Then Beyond The Walking Dead or something like this. That new one.
Yeah.
Then The Talking Dead. You know when he talk about it, but
they did Zombieland 2. World War Z 2 was supposed to come out. It still hasn't done.
Zombieland 2 is that
Woody Harrelson?
Yeah. Yeah, but he was in the first. What was the second one about?
It starts with them in the White House, and the youngest girl goes to live like with a hippie commune, and they go to find her.
Oh, right. Yeah, like they run into like their opposite people.
Exactly.
I
and
don't
the
think I've
zombies
seen it.
evolve. Like they can't kill them right away. It takes a lot more.
Okay.
They get
stronger. I want to see it. Is it good?
It's worth watching.
Not as good as the first.
No, but not every sequel is. But it's cool enough and funny enough to watch it.
Yeah.
As far as zombie movies go, because we watch zombies a long, long time. The best thing to do for us is take the best stuff you see and put it somewhere else. Like one example, Diary of the Dead. It's a different set of people from another movie. I think it's Land of the Dead or one of the other ones, and it's from a different angle. But that's the one, if I'm not mistaken, but where they show like the mailman zombie keeps going to the mailbox to show like they're not.
Well, yeah, because I think in maybe the very first, the original Day of the Dead, or Dawn of the Dead, where they go to the mall.
The mall.
First, right. Okay, but the original, like, I think one of the characters say, like, why do people keep coming to the mall?
Instinct.
And yeah, it's like, yeah, that's what they used to do. And so, which is creepy about that because, okay, say for instance, you know, a family member of yours dies, they might come to your house, you know, or they might try to get in their room, or they might, you know, so that's kind of creepy.
Oh, by the way, the Diary of the Dead is the one where they're all in a warehouse. There's no zombies, and they go, "Oh, so and so died of a heart attack, and he got up at some point. He's missing." To show you don't have to get as long as you die. And this man here called it, and he said of many things. When you said, "Oh, it'd be cool if in the Walking Dead like that universe, if any, if you're in a turn no matter what happens."
Well,
they never said that.
I remember saying that before The Walking Dead was even a show. Like,
because we remember the comic.
Yeah, we used to constantly talk about zombie stuff. So
when that was a cool comic, and they're like, "Oh, they're making a show," and now later, like the 7th or 8th season, they're like, "Oh, it doesn't matter. We're gonna." And I think they actually said it comes from space.
Because they always, oh really? Yeah, because they always have zombie comics out. And, you know, I remember the Walking Dead comic, they the first one sold for big bucks. I wish I would have got it. But,
yeah, we saw a black and white zombie comic, and we're like, oh.
Because I remember, it's funny, like, I would refer to it as the black and white one. I'd be like, oh, they got a new zombie comic. Oh, the black and white one? No, they got a new one out. You know, so, but yeah, we would refer to that one as the black and white one.
The show made it go.
Oh, yeah.
Big. And hey, the show is a good thing.
Yeah, more power to it. I mean,
you know, but yeah, like World War Z, for example. where they run even faster than a human.
Mm-hmm.
Like, remember you said they look like ants piling up.
Yeah.
Like, how would you even come close to surviving?
Yeah, I don't like when they make the zombies like have superhuman strength.
Yeah.
You know,
You
like,
have walkers, runners, sprinters,
and then
yeah.
superheroes.
If we were to make a zombie movie, one, like you said, if you're 10 years old or 90 years old, you're going to be a 10-year-old zombie and a 90-year-old zombie.
Right.
Like, they all have the same, even if they're walkers or runners, they do, like, they can lift the same amount of weight. No.
Right.
You know,
right.
If you're 90, you can't run. Right. And, like, the good parts and bad parts, you have, like, the mall remake. They're superhuman almost in that one.
Mm-hmm.
Doing and running real fast.
Not as bad as like World War Z, where they're like,
no.
You know.
And then 28 days later, it's like it's a rage thing, but they also can go just super fast and lift certain things. Calm down, people.
Yeah, I'd like to see a zombie movie. Okay, you get bit or whatever, you turn into a zombie, you're infected with a disease, but make it realistic in the fact, like, you're just you got a disease, so you're crazy, you're trying to kill everybody, but if somebody shoots you in the heart, you're gonna die. It doesn't have to be your brain. You get cut in half, all your blood drains out, you need blood to move your muscles and stuff.
Yeah.
So,
because The Walking Dead, they'll show them like deteriorated over time, their ribs are showing. It's like,
but it'll show just a head sitting there trying to bite you. Yeah. Right. I mean.
And the worst universe is Return of the Living Dead, because not only do they sprint, but they talk, think very well to call other things, and
great movie.
Can bite through your head, apparently.
Yeah, great movie, but it's
sad universe because nothing else.
Yeah, not realistic. I mean, just
but spooky.
Yeah, spooky stuff. It's
and it's kind of nuts.
Yeah, and I mean it's kind of comical.
No,
like,
but
you can't really take it seriously.
They do a good job of like comical moment, and then
Scary.
They put one on the table, and it's like, why do you eat brains? Because of the pain of death. And he looks up. Oh, it hurts to die, to be dead. But like you get Tar Man, brain.
The guy that plays the mortician, the guy was
the Weekend at Bernie's.
Okay, that's what I was
real name off.
Right. Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah, that was my question.
We noticed as children, while his gun, because we love the history of military. And like, that's a German military gun. And then later we noticed the picture of Ava Braun on the wall.
Yeah.
And eventually, like up to now, like within the last 10 years, people have either asked the director or whatever, and he's like, yes. Like, he was either an ex-Nazi soldier or a sympathizer.
Well, and,
right?
could be coincidental, but he does work in a crematorium. Which you don't not to go there, but
But the best part of that movie is you also have The Age of Punk.
Yeah,
Linnea Quigley. Oh gosh, one of the greatest. Because Night of the Demons, by the way, she was even in Silent Night, Deadly Night. But we love Night of the Demons, and not that she shows her inner, like, gets half naked in the movie. She's great and cute and a great actress. We suggest. I actually have Night of the Demons on our list of trailers. Obviously, love those movies. But yeah, Return is horrible because when the rain comes down, it's acid rain.
Yeah.
After they cremate in the cycle, and it doesn't matter. You're gonna die no matter what. But the mall remake, they get in a boat, go to the island, and they're infected. So it really didn't matter.
I can never remember the name of the zombie movie, but we talked about it before. I hate to bring it up since I don't know the name, but there was a movie where, it starts raining and people's skins are burning, and all of a sudden zombies are running around. So, but there's also like a spaceship, like there's aliens, and the aliens, like, they put up a giant wall around this town, okay? And the people can't get out because there's like a giant wall, like the size of the Statue of Liberty kind of wall, okay? So there's no way to climb it or nothing. So the people are freaking out that they're being attacked by aliens. There's this rain pouring down that's burning their skin and stuff.
Is this an old movie?
No, like I'd
90s?
say maybe early 90s if it's the 90s.
Okay.
But
So now within 10 years, it's over 10
oh yeah.
years.
So okay, so people are getting rained on. They're being, skin's kind of burning. The zombies running around. They got this wall. They see alien spaceships, so they're freaking out. Everybody's trying to escape or whatever. And so like at the end, like one guy gets in an airplane, like a little, one pilot airplane, and one guy gets over the wall and escapes. But what you later find out, major spoiler alert, not that
we don't even know the movie yet.
That's what I'm saying. How can you
you.
spoil the movie? You don't know. Well, what it is, the alien virus came down on a meteor. So that's where the zombies come from. Aliens came down, put up the wall to contain it. The acid rain that was coming down was like the cure. So if you got the rain on you, that was like curing the zombie disease. So that one guy who you're pulling for to escape, when he escapes, he gets the alien virus over the wall. Yeah. So what it is, so you see these aliens and rain's burning people, so you think the aliens are attacking, but what it was just like a meteor that the aliens came from, and so now he thinks he's doing the right thing, but really what he's doing is he's escaping the virus. So the whole time the aliens were trying to help everybody.
We're gonna do something fun here. We're gonna go out into the wilderness in the back,
smoke
on a little trip.
You need the mic. Sounds nice. Check 1.
Check 2. Check 2. Y'all gonna take a ride with us. I mean, I don't think anybody's actually watching, but hey, you know what? People can watch this on a rerun. We have one comment. I'll take it.
Yep.
Wrap it up. I'll take it.
Wrap it up.
Remember that song?
I'll take it. Wrap it up.
Hello? Hello? Do not be alarmed. Do not change your station on your set. You are hanging with the Dude Bros. On our over 100 sub special. And maybe, just maybe, not too long from now, 200? 300? Wow, going outside. Didn't.
I can put this light on with you.
Oh no, I like this.
Yeah, man.
You?
That's me.
Me? Hello?
Hello.
We're
What's
just
all
gonna.
this then?
I'm just gonna put this here, and y'all can listen to us talk, and we'll walk back and forth. I'm trying to find out. Okay. It's over there.
Dun. Make it a jazz.
That's right. Uh-oh. We have watchdogs helping us. Hounds of hell. Don't smoke. Bad for your health. But, so, we're also making plans to go back out into the wild. Be it Bigfoot hunting or just going through we like to hike, bird watch, maybe. Call it what you will. That too. We do both. But yeah, that's what's next. And we're gonna start getting back into the rhythm of putting trail. Like you haven't seen trails in a while. Like I said, we haven't been able to get together, but we're getting back in the swing of things. And the summer's the best time to do indoor stuff.
Oh yeah,
because down here in Louisiana, like it's February and we're outside sweating in shorts and a tank top.
Coldest day of the year.
But then again, what, a week ago it was 25?
Yeah, I mean
that was one freak thing, and again
it lasted for like a week. I actually seen a little bit of snow flutters, but I mean it was like you had to like pay attention.
Mrs. Zim called me one day, one of those 2 days. She's like, "They say flurries. You see anything?" And I'm like, "It's gray." So I don't
I mean, like you'd have to sit there and look, and you see a little something like looked like ashes, like very, very tiny. Tiny, 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 tiny.
But you know what? The cold keeps the snakes away.
Mm.
But thankfully, where I live now, I haven't seen any, and you haven't too much.
Well, not
And again,
recently,
they could
but
be in the
no, I've
leaves.
seen them. But
We can affirm that one winter, raking leaves,
oh yeah,
there was one hibernating.
yeah,
Take
I
your
guess it was
guess.
in the.
We don't know what
Right.
was it was,
He was
but
just chilling.
chilling like a.
Villain.
Would you say a villain?
Chilling like a
Max?
villain, like it ain't no thing.
But I did notice after those really cold days, and it warmed up enough, birds everywhere. We saw a beautiful, not a bluebird, not a blue jay today.
Yeah.
But oh, those little red-headed robins. You know, they have like a red top and a black back, which I think the character Robin comes that name. I don't know. But and squirrels.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, a possum or two got ran over. They come out the drains around here, so
yeah.
Call it what you will. So, what's that over there? What's that? But I'm not going to stop it repeating. Thanks to everyone who watches us, subs to us, presses that like button. If you ever notice, we don't say hit like and subscribe and what, because you go to YouTube, you already know.
Yeah, if you like it, you're gonna do it. You know.
YouTube's been around long enough. If you like us, hey, hit it or just comment.
I mean,
we don't mind.
Yeah, really. I mean, main thing is we just like to comment because we see other people's ideas and stuff. Like you know, you might not be thinking of something.
And we're getting the stuff we usually talk about off our chest to other people. Like we'll talk about zombie movies all day, but hey, now we can interact with other people. If our live shows pick up and we start, would love to. And by the way, I'm working on getting some guests on the show. I was recently, shout out to Bloody Breakdown with Brand. We did a Valentine's Day special. I don't know if you saw that.
I can't remember.
It wasn't on my channel. I might mirror it, but we talked about My Bloody Valentine from 78 or 81, sorry, and the movie Valentine from 2005. And that was the Saturday before Valentine's Day. Okay. I'm going to try and get him to come on with us just to talk. Like, there's a little show I used to do with an old host who she had to go move on, do something else. But we did horror news update. I'll do an impromptu one right now with Max. They announced Jeepers Creepers is getting a new trilogy.
Oh, really?
Did you enjoy those films? Even if you just saw the first one, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I didn't really get into it. I didn't, I'd have to go back and watch. I don't remember seeing it, to be honest with you. Also, on Paramount TV is where they're going to do the Pet Cemetery prequel. Now, I don't know if it's a movie or a show, but the people who did the remake movie are writing and doing Pet Cemetery prequel to where, from what we understand, how the cemetery was made before anybody in the movies get there. How do you feel about it? Would you like to see that? Yeah, because the cemetery is obviously old, so there's a lot going on there. I mean,
and in the movies, people like in the town say, "Don't go there." They know.
You know, it'd be neat if they show the old man character played by Herman Munster. That guy. Yeah. If they show him as a young boy, because remember he said he buried his dog.
That's right.
There.
Good call.
And it looked like he kind of knew something was up from the get go. So maybe he knew something was up because he
sometimes
did say
better is better.
Yeah, he did bury his dog there. So that might be what they're gonna do. Show his dog.
Let's see. Scream 5 will be coming soon. Do you have any interest in that?
Not really. I never really got into the Scream movies,
I liked them for what they were, and I think they closed it fine. Even 4, like, okay, I like Emma Roberts and all that, but hey,
well, I find a lot of times with sequels, it's like they stop making like the movies because I want to make this movie about this certain monster. That's my passion. Then after like 3, 4, 5, it's like, hey, if we make another one, we can make a couple of bucks. It kind of turns into
the Hollywood way. Let's milk it so that teat is dry on that cow. When it's like,
it's not like somebody's got a really good idea.
Good example. Friday the 13th. They were the ones like, hey, we're going to go to space. Hellraiser, it only took to the fourth one. We're going, well, it wasn't all in space. Like, it went from different places.
Jaws never ended up in space, but Jaws is a good example about milking it till it's dry. I mean,
we're gonna go to the Bahamas where a shark like that probably I don't think could exist. Like the water's different, but whatever.
But like the shark, not only is the shark attacking people, but it like has a personal vendetta against this family. Like, you know,
I did make a prediction. Me and Mrs. M reviewed the Fast and the Furious 9 or whatever it is trailer, and I said they're gonna strap the cars to the side of a space shuttle, and that will go. They'll go to space. They already flew out of a plane.
I mean,
that's just an example.
The stunts in those movies got so outrageous they weren't even impressive because, like, you know, if you see. Good example. You're watching Smokey and the Bandit, and a car jumps something. Okay, you know they probably set up safe this way they can do it and all, but okay, that is way more impressive than seeing a car do backflips and people get out the car while it's flying through the air. And
they show damage to cars when they land. You know, in those older movies. Now, at least sometimes they address that they like fix it. I mean, they might as
well just in the Fast and Furious movies. You might as well just say, "Well, the cars are magical." I mean,
make it like the Wraith.
Yeah,
like the car can rebuild itself.
We gotta do that.
Or Christine.
Or did we do that movie?
It's on the list. I put it on our trailer list. Yeah, and thank goodness they did not remake it. There is another movie called The Wraith, but it's about like a demon wraith in a haunted house.
You know what we should do is like pick an actor like Charlie Sheen and do like top 5 Charlie Sheen movies, or
let us know your favorite actor or actress.
Yeah, like how would you want to, like just random movies, or like do Halloween, do all the Halloween movies, or like pick an actor and do like.
Well, we did do, by the way, we have videos and on a podcast on Anchor. You can find the Dude Brothers. We did Nightmare on Elm Street, Texas Chainsaw, and Friday the 13th, and we worked our way towards Halloween. But this Halloween, there really wasn't much of a Halloween pandemic. We did go trick or treating with the youngest, but far less people. But we started now. Here's one to look for. I have made a list of actors who were in horror movies before they got famous. Example, Meg Ryan was in Amityville Horror 3D.
Yeah, we should do that.
And everybody knows Leprechaun. Everybody knows Kevin Bacon was in Friday the 13th. But do you remember the show Wings? By the way, do you remember that show? Crystal Bernard, the girl with the southern accent who worked thing. Slumber Party Massacre 2.
Oh, wow. Or Johnny Depp. And
let's see, that's another big one that everybody knows.
Yeah.
We're going to go through. I have a page, so another one. Yeah, stay tuned.
That'd be fun.
There's a reason to actually hit the subscribe button, but we're just here for entertainment. No, you're clear. I'm trying to get all kind of ideas because this is not the norm. Like, I did a video on Halloween 3 retrospective / remake ? Like, what if we took the core of that movie and did something cool with it? And I got a good response from a couple people in their comments. So I know y'all are watching. Let us know. There's one that we did called Alligator. And we did The Hand with Michael Caine. Like, go back through our list. It's amazing what you'll see. But tonight we came on live, and as I look right now, nobody's watching, but that's fine because this will be on the page to replay. Since the last time I saw Max and we were in the same room, we went over 100 subs, and we're thankful for every single person. Or if you just watched one of our videos, we appreciate it, because why listen to us? What do we have to say? The Dude Brothers, hey, but we love it. We love giving our opinion because there's so many crazy, even bad things going on in this world. We don't talk politics. I talk religion, but that has nothing to do with the rest. We come to talk just fun. Comic books, music, horror. Just making sure.
Oh, jeez.
No, the battery pack's on my belt area.
Okay.
But I tell you what, let's do this for a sec. Um, you come talk to the audience.
Hello, hello.
I'm gonna
What's
grab my
all
drink.
this then? So what are we doing next, you think?
Um, well, we got a whole list of trailers and a gaggle of skits we've been talking about. I don't know.
Yeah.
There's some out there for people that they might want to.
Yeah, no, I mean, we're going to have to get into our skits. We actually wrote some comedy stuff and, might have a little short film in the works. Which would be kind of cool. You know, I mean, reviews we kind of do is just fun for us, but it is what it is, and that's all that it is. But yeah, no. So I mean, we definitely got some cool stuff coming up. Or I mean, we enjoy watching the stuff as much as we enjoy putting the stuff on. So if you'll know something cool, let us know. We got a couple of friends that do the same kind of stuff. We just like watching reviews and stuff. So, but but yeah, and we got some on location stuff. We're gonna be in the woods soon. Got some camping stuff coming up. Gonna do some hiking, some camping. Might be fun to review some equipment and stuff. But we'll get to that when we can. Hopefully, before it gets too hot.
I got an example.
Yo.
Just to show that we talk, review, whatever.
Oh yeah, I was just talking about.
We got this. Actually, is this flashlight work?
Did. I was like, if not, I got a lighter.
I did an emergency. I mean, a mystery tent box. Now, they gave me an emergency shelter. One of those, like, just put up real quick. We're gonna set it up and see how it looks, see how it works.
I mean, I see some videos of people camping in like -3 degrees and stuff. I mean, since where we live, it never gets that cold, but I mean, we definitely went below freezing.
Our tent went to 32 and 31.
Yeah,
and it was cold in that tent.
We went below freezing, so to me that's good enough. As far as that.
We'd have to drive really far to go like where it's in the
not to mention, I mean,
number. But
really want to go camping in 4-degree weather.
It's been a while since we unleashed our tent, and we're gonna do some outdoor stuff because we do talk some cryptozoology, Bigfoot, the Rougarou.
I want to, especially if somebody's out there that we could talk to about the recent alien stuff, like the Dan Fraser,
the Tic Tac,
which
is a military.
Yeah, I think Lieutenant Dan Fraser. He was an Air Force pilot. The Pentagon said the videos are real. They didn't, come and say it's a UFO. I mean, they said
it is a literal.
It's
they can't identify what it was.
Right,
but it was going faster than our planes.
Yeah, so whatever it is, it's legit.
There's another subject for all you out there. If you had an encounter with anything unusual, from Bigfoot to ghosts to UFOs, you name it, let us know. Because we'll love to talk about that too. Because that's interesting. Like, that's peculiar. We live in the swamps, literally. So unless there's a swamp ape, which is climbing in the trees, because Brian, people we know have said if you live where we do, you need a boat like a car. Max can tell you, we grew up, it's like we needed pirogues or a kayak to get around. And so you can't really Bigfoot hunt or whatever you want to call it. So we have to drive like an hour to get to the kind of area you can do that. Now, we're willing to do that because where I want to go is 3 hours away, Kisatchie National Forest. By the way, I looked it up, and the rules are, as long as you're 100 yards away from the trail, you can be out there. Now, the scary part is no firearm. I think you can have a 22, but there's bear. And I don't think that's really gonna help.
Well,
It's Big Mama Bear
bear spray.
and horns, and we'll definitely. There is a Cabela's about an hour and change from us. We'll go check that. Bass Pro, a little bit closer, but that's more fishing, obviously. But it has the same camping and stuff.
But yeah, like I said, because I mean, if we're gonna be in a place with bears, I definitely
There's mountain lions,
need some kind of protection.
you know, which bears at least you might see well in advance, scare it away.
Yeah.
Cats, you won't be looking.
I
But
mean,
then again, nuisance animals. I don't want an armadillo with. There's apparently always a boar pig problem from
well,
Texas.
I mean, you can always get bit by a poisonous snake here.
Those are the worst because they're landmines, right, Matt?
Oh yeah,
You won't see it. They're the same color as the ground. We've seen the ground breathe, and we're like, wait a minute. But you can, and I will say, get yourself some snake gaiters for your legs. I don't know. That's what I call them.
Yeah.
There's some that are plastic, and there's some that go over your boot. Sometimes a rubber boot will be enough for a small snake, but
yeah, I mean, thicker the better. I mean, anything you got, I mean, but some snakes can bite through some pretty strong stuff.
yeah. If anybody who has watched the Swamp People show, they now have a version where they're in the Florida Everglades catching the boas.
Pythons.
And me and Max here have a little experience with serpents, but we don't catch them. I'll leave it at that. I've had family members go, why don't you go down there and make some money? And I'm like, because I'm not going to catch them. Like boa constrictors, there's no reason to catch them. They don't need anti-venom.
What do they do with them in that show? Because
they put them in a bag.
No, I know, but they're nuisance animals, so they can't let them go in the wild.
Oh, they don't show, I don't think, what they do after they bring them to the wild.
I think. I mean,
unless they move them.
To where?
Zoos.
Yeah, but that's a lot of freaking snakes.
Oh, I know.
I mean,
I know, maybe pet stores, but no, because you can't tame or keep a tame.
Right.
Make it.
Well, no, because people would be letting them back out.
Well, no, I was thinking like, because if you get a boa as a baby, it'll be a little bit tamer.
You're right.
Around people, but no, I'll bring you one without a head, or I've always wanted to make my own boots or a belt. I think, but and I might be wrong, but I read that you can get a license to hunt with a gun in Florida because there's so many and they're a problem. Now that's a long drive for us to just do that.
I want to say they kill them, but they don't do it on the show. That's why they put them in the bag.
Yeah, they want them alive to get paid. I know that.
Euthanize them peacefully or something.
Hopefully, like I said, because they don't need to get anti-venom to make anti-venom because they're boas. But the show's cool enough where they show them because those things are, I want an anaconda. I want to go to the Amazon. Like how about the people who walk barefoot?
Oh, jeez.
No.
Yeah,
no.
For them snakes.
No.
Jesus.
No. The most I've ever done at our zoo, you can go touch one and they'll hold it. But like people grab it behind it. No, that's all right.
Well, our buddy Cliff.
An actual snake wrangler. If you've ever seen Jackass 2, they put Bam in a trailer with like a cobra or something.
Yeah.
Cliff was the guy who brought the snake and helped them. And you can see one of our buddies' Hummer in the shot. But he had an albino boa and something else, put them on the ground in front of us, and we were like, we're not gonna hurt your animal, but no.
He also had all the neighborhood kids scared.
But no, he's really good at it. And hey, I don't understand that as a pet because you can't hang with it. Even lizards, like let them. That seems like a closed-in, boring life. Like they're just trapped in.
Well, that's why I feel like people like keep birds at their house. I mean, my dad.
A bird doesn't want to just sit there.
Right. I mean, especially a bird. I mean,
they are pretty and cute to hang out with.
You can't sit in your backyard and look at the pretty birds.
And macaws, you have one where like it could talk. That's great, but it's a foot-tall bird trapped in a house.
Right.
And you got to de-wing them or whatever, right? You got to clip it so they can't fly or something.
If you keep you don't have to his whole life,
right?
But like the people you see walking around with them on their shoulders, yeah.
And I understand the beauty of one. Even fish, like put them in a smaller tank, you're like, these poor things want to just do something else.
Mm-hmm.
So cats, dogs, sure, you know,
Yeah.
but like if you don't have a house with a backyard, dog to me, it's like, okay, for safety, and a toy dog, sure, but a toy dog's not gonna. A toy is in size. That's not gonna protect you. But you know, I had a black lab, and
It's a little toy dog. If you know you live by, be a warning.
No, I mean, yeah,
He has
some
something
cases, but if somebody actually kicks in the toy,
yeah. Well, it's amazing to me like how scared people are of dogs.
Oh, let me tell you, like I said, I had a black lab, a female, who was great around people, but when I'd walk her around, some people were, because she was big, and I'm like, okay, she never barks. What are you doing?
Yeah.
I've
They always got like videos of like a mailman or a UPS guy like running from his life, and it's like a little chihuahua,
right?
Like,
yeah, I just word of wisdom: don't pet a stray anything, because they're probably not used to people. Don't mess around. But words of advice, dogs are a great thing to have for company. Even cats. Cats have their own agendas, but they will come and love you. But that's the thing. Like, one of our cats happens to scratch me, I'll bleed. If I run into a cougar,
I was watching this thing about, it's a lady who's a mortician, and she has like a podcast. I mean, I'm sure if you type in mortician lady or something, it'll come up. But she was saying that, if you die in your house, a cat will start eating you before a dog will.
Really?
Yeah, you would think it'd be the other way around.
I've never heard that, but hey.
Yeah, I mean, that's what she said.
Oh, man, there's a popular horror movie. This is a zombie movie. And there's a scene where there's an old woman in a chair, and she's dead, and a cat comes out of her. And I'm like, okay. Well, tell you what, it's 11:30. We've been over an hour, and we're gonna wrap it up. But again, thanks to everybody. If you've watched just one of our videos once and you see this, or if you're a sub, we love you to death. And all we ask is that you keep coming back for more, because we're gonna bring you entertainment throughout space and time. So, from me, Chubbs, good night, and
me, Max, good night.
Till next time, over and out.